The picture I'm running here is obviously from Seattle. I'm not in Seattle. Last time I was in Washington, I didn't really spend much time in Seattle. I was in Tacoma. The driving there's scary. There's lots of people on the road. The 211 lady yesterday said that she would call back today. There's been no callback. All these numbers are from yesterday. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed with the number of phone calls I gotta make.
Button. To continue in English, please press 1. Para continuar en... Please enter the 5-digit zip code where you are currently located. If you do not know that zip code, please press the pound or hash sign. For information on COVID-19, the flu, RSV, or Mpox, please press 0. If you would like housing information regarding services such as emergency shelter, rent assistance, or mortgage and foreclosure assistance, please press 1. If you would like parenting information, including foster care provider support and child care services, please press 2. If you would like information about pesticides, or you would like to make a complaint about an incident involving pesticides, please press 3. If you are seeking help with paying an energy bill, like an electric bill, a natural gas bill, a water bill, or a bill for heating fuel, please press 4. If you would like to speak with a maternal and child health specialist about resources related to women's health exams, pregnancy, WIC, well child check, contraceptives, or STI screening, please press 5. For all other services, please press the pound or hash sign. Please hold for the next available specialist. 211 Info strives to improve our services through community feedback. We would like to ask you a short 5-question survey after you have finished speaking with our staff. Would
One
you
for
be willing
yes,
to
two for
receive a
no.
quick automated call from 211 Info after this call? Please press 1 for yes, 2 for no. We are currently experiencing a high call volume. If you would like us to hold your place in line and receive a callback, please press 1. Otherwise, please wait for the next available specialist. Did you know that 211 has a free mobile app for the Android and iPhone platform? It offers an easy-to-navigate category menu from which you can search for resources for such topics as temporary housing, food pantries, legal assistance, parenting programs, prenatal care, mental health support, foster youth services, and many more. Results are offered in both map and list form. You can download the app for free from the Apple App Store or Google Play by searching for keyword
211 info. That's 211 INFO. Give it a try. We are currently experiencing a high call volume. If you would like us to hold your place in line and receive a callback, please press 1. Otherwise, please wait for the next available specialist. Did you know that 211 has a free mobile app for the Android and iPhone platforms? It offers an easy-to-navigate category menu from which you can search for resources for such topics as temporary housing, food pantries, legal assistance, parenting programs, prenatal care, mental health support, foster youth services, and many more. Results are offered in both mapped and list form. You can download the app for free from the Apple App Store or Google Play by searching for keyword 211 info. That's 211 INFO. Give it a try.
This is Dominic. How can I help you?
Hello. I spoke with a lady yesterday, and she was gonna get on a phone with Adult Protective Services and call me back this morning, but the morning's up now.
Yeah, this morning's up. They're going to call you. We normally don't do callbacks. Was APS going to call you back, or was somebody from 211 going to call you back?
Someone from 211 was gonna call me back and make the call with me.
Oh, okay. I don't know why they... Not sure why they said that they would call you back. That's not something we normally do. Do you need to make a report to APS?
Yes, sir, but I can't do it alone. The APS here is non-compliant, and I'm tired of being bullied for having to do it alone.
Okay. Go ahead.
I have to take a lot of hate crimes. I get a lot of bullying. I get bullied everywhere that I move. I can't go to police because when I try, they just talk over me and give me the mentally ill treatment, but they don't give me the rights of someone who's quote-unquote mentally ill. They're supposed to do their jobs as mandated reporters and get a hold of Adult Protective Services right away, and they didn't. And they didn't investigate any of the crimes against me, and that's not something that's okay.
Okay. All right, let's see here. Are you currently in a safe place to talk to me?
Yes, sir. Reading back my number to me won't work. I have it written down somewhere in my car, but I don't have it memorized. So if you ask me what my number is, I can't. I wouldn't be able to tell you if it is or not.
Yeah, no worries. What we're going to do is we're just going to call them here. We'll just call them. I'll call them and I'll let you speak. I'm not an advocate though, so I can't advocate on your behalf, but I can make the call with you. Okay?
Yes, sir. That's one of the things is that literally all the places that I've sent to that are supposed to be advocacy have not done their jobs advocacy. They'll do anything but.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
We
have
are
to turn them in.
right. We are mandatory reporters, but we are not advocates. So there is a difference. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's your zip code?
I don't know, but I do know that the people they keep sending me to as adult protective services here, it's Northwest Senior and Disability Services, and there's some of the people I have to turn in. They were very unprofessional.
Okay. Right. I'm not sure where to start here if you don't have a zip code.
Well, I'm in Tillamook, Oregon, but I'm not sure if you've checked the news recently. Tillamook, Oregon, just their sheriff was just arrested for corruption. There's a lot more to it though, and the officers also killed a man day before yesterday. I'm trying to turn in law enforcement here as well as the services here because I can't just keep moving every time I have to deal with moving. I have to start over fresh. I'm disabled. I get a disability check and everything. Like I'm not just some dude pretending.
Okay. All right. Okay, yeah. So I see the Tillamook police chief took drugs and money from evidence, state alleges. Oh, wow.
Yes, sir. Some of those drugs and money went to homeless people out here. Some of it didn't even get to make it to the evidence lockers. One of the police officers here that didn't do his job when I first got here, his name is Loftman, and he's been running around town telling people that I killed somebody, and also saying, what else was it? That I was chasing little girls or some shit like that. Anyway, it makes for
Wow.
a very hostile environment. Now, all this
Sounds like it.
situation
Yeah.
happened. Do what?
Yeah, it sounds like it. And whenever the powers that be are acting like that and under arrest, it's hard to trust anyone, you know. And yeah, it's just a scary situation. So,
I have the recordings of all of it. The witnesses, the people that he's been going and telling that stuff to, the way that I've been treated by the local community, the fact that they haven't investigated any of the crimes against me. They tell me when I go to them originally to fill out a report, they tell me they don't do it that way. It's a small town that they'll write. I tell it to them and they'll write it down. They'll decide if it's against the law or not. Not giving me the option, sending me around to mental health, but telling me that I'm cognitive and all of that. I mean, basically, I'm only disabled when it suits them, and I'm not disabled when it doesn't. And this is something that's been going on ever since Natalie was killed. I went to multiple departments over the abuse from Natalie Bollinger and the friends of her that were stalking me before she got killed. After she got killed, the media got a hold of it, and a bunch of web sleuth groups got involved. I had to try to trust complete and total strangers because it's an at-risk adult. I mean, people just basically are friends with me because I'm easy to take advantage of. And I'm not easy to take advantage of. I'm desperate, and that's the situation that I've been forced into. I've had to stay with drug dealers and drug addicts and alcoholics and some very violent people who abuse their own children, and I have to be afraid to go to the police. I've got 7 years of backlog on this since Natalie got her brains blown out. I'm still
wow.
taking the abuse everywhere that I go. I still record it everywhere I go, just like the what are they called? The lawyers that I spoke with before Natalie was killed told me to do. But they also told me that I had a friend or family member because if these people are calling me mentally ill, they're trying to discredit me, and it's gonna take a friend or family member because I was homeless and a male. Now, I was in assisted living there in Nebraska, and that was before Natalie was killed. And I started getting my disability check, but I was getting harassed on the internet. I was having people calling me and making fake accounts to harass.
Who's Natalie? Is Natalie your relative?
No, sir. Natalie Bollinger is a friend of mine who on heroin. She was
Okay.
also a victim of child abuse. Her dad used to rape her and her sister and make them sell drugs on Pearl Street in Boulder, Colorado, which is where I met them.
Wow.
I was a homeless liaison there, so basically, my job was to run off the kids,
Right. So let's see.
take homeless people to the warming
I mean, if
centers.
you're not comfortable going to that county or state, I can look. I looked up kind of a neighboring county, perhaps Columbia County. Would you be comfortable making the report to Columbia County?
I don't think that I've dealt with Columbia County. The situation here, I've also been sent to other counties and other jurisdictions. My predator's here. One of them, his name is James Murphy, and he follows me everywhere. I have court with
Okay.
him at 3:30 today because he was able to get paperwork against me because the police, since I got here, there's a guy in town who's got some severe mental problems named Robert Farnsworth. Now, I've been told that he's doing better, but when he was stalking me and a woman named Molly and also this guy, Murphy, James Murphy he first started stalking me in Hood River because of the same issue. Police officers trying to insinuate that I was doing things I wasn't to try to get false confessions out of people or false reports out of them. That was a guy named Logan and a woman named Shayna. Um, I, I, I've gone to every reporter I can to try to get them to do their job. Let me get a pen out. I live in my car, and I'm autistic, and I'm easy to talk over, if that makes sense. So that's one
Okay.
of the biggest issues that I have. Also, with Natalie Bollinger, most people don't look it up. They just assume that I'm some crazy who's calling them for no reason, and they pawn me off on mental health again and again. Um,
Um. Right.
I do have my mental health paperwork. It shows that I'm not schizophrenic, that I'm not delusional. I do not have hallucinations. Basically, I'm high functioning autistic, so I'm really smart, and I have PTSD, which is the part that makes it so that I can't function without a safe environment. I also have physical disabilities. The place here, TFCC, is supposed to be for mental disabilities, and the other place, Northwest Senior and Disabilities, is supposed to be for physical disabilities. And they're both supposed to do the APS thing here, but both of them refused and keep sending me back and forth. They've been very unprofessional about it as well.
Yeah.
I've been getting bullied and harassed by the cops ever since Natalie disappeared. And the thing is, a whole year before she disappeared, I was having to deal with bullying by police in Virginia. They broke my car and told me that they told me they were taking me to the hospital, which was the right thing to do because I was dehydrated. But Natalie Bollinger and her sister didn't explain that to anybody. They also didn't explain that they gave me a phone for my birthday, or that Natalie was threatening to kill herself if I didn't go, and then she actually tried to kill herself. So that's what made it so that I had to go to Virginia. There was no stalking there of any sort. Now, when I left Virginia, she started calling people, like a girl that I knew named Maddie Boa, and telling people that I stalked her and that I threatened her family in Virginia and all sorts of crazy stuff that wasn't true. And people started hurting me almost immediately. Like I'm easy to take advantage of, and not having a support network while something like that's going on, I can't usually get talked over. And by the way, thank you for not talking over me.
Mhm. Yeah. I'm just trying to listen to what your story is because you want to make a call here to Adult Protective Services, and I just, they've gone to the one locally and it hasn't gone anywhere. So, yeah, I wanted to see where we could probably go. I'm thinking maybe Columbia County, since it's kind of neighboring.
Yes, sir. I'm still. I found a pen. I'm just looking for a piece of paper to write on. I've got a bunch of them here, but it's all evidence. Like, I've been through the ringer. Every time I try to turn in an officer, they either trump up charges or try to have me sent to a mental institution. That's not appropriate. Officers that I've been trying to turn in have been able to be the officer to investigate themselves, and they take me to the hospital and just tell the hospital that I'm schizophrenic. It takes 6 months to diagnose somebody as schizophrenic, and my doctor said that I'm absolutely not. So this is the issue that I'm dealing with, is that police officers, without me having a friend or family member, and I have to go talk to them as a homeless and disabled male, I'm easy to talk over. They're going to sell their own narrative over the top of anything I say. Which, by the way, you're doing really good at not doing. You're being professional, and I want to thank you for that.
Yep. All right, well, are you ready to make a call, I guess?
Yes, sir, and I got my pen ready, too. Also, with my phone number, it's not really safe to give it out, but I'm okay with it given out. If there's something that I can do, like an email or two, then I can do that on my phone, but other than that, my disabilities really, really hamper me. I have physical disabilities, like I said. What's the name of the county?
This will be Columbia County.
All right.
All right. Now, do you want to make this call together?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Let me pull this up. So I'm doing the right thing here. There's also the state. Actually, maybe that's better. Maybe we'll do the state. See if they have a line. Bear with me here while I make sure I get us the right information to call, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Adult Protective Services statewide. We'll call the statewide line. That might be better.
Yes, sir. If they send me to Adult Protective Services Tillamook, I've already tried to get them to do their jobs. I recorded them not doing their jobs. Everybody wants to bully me into housing. When I'm being victimized, I shouldn't have to move to a place in order to turn in a report of abuse.
Right. All right, let's see here. We are going to call, we'll call the statewide line. If they try to, let's see. Yeah, this is pretty good. This is, I'm going to go ahead and call. It might put you on a brief hold, but if it does, stay on the line, okay? And I'll come back on.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see. We'll start with the statewide number, and then we'll work our way from there if that doesn't work. So 855-503.
Hold on.
Yep.
All right.
So yeah, 855.
I write slow. I got assaulted by an officer in 2017, so my ability to hold a pen isn't all that great. Is that statewide Adult Protective Services?
Yeah, this will be Adult Protective Services, the statewide number.
Okay.
Again, that's going to be 855
855
503
503
7233.
7233.
Okay. And that's the line we're going to call first, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go.
You have reached Oregon's Abuse Reporting Safe Line for children and adults. Para escuchar este mensaje en español, oprima el 8. If this is an emergency requiring immediate attention, hang up and dial 911. If you're calling to report abuse of a child or for other child welfare information, press 1. If you're calling to report abuse or neglect for an adult or for other adult-related matters, press 2.
Okay.
If you are calling to report abuse of an adult residing in a stabilization and crisis unit home or the Oregon State Hospital, press 1. If the adult is over the age of 65 or has a physical disability, press 2. If the adult has a developmental disability,
Are
press
you over the
3.
age of 65?
No,
if you're
sir.
calling to report the abuse of an adult with mental
But I
illness,
do have a physical
press 4.
disability.
Enter the Oregon zip code where the adult resides. If you do not have that information, please enter your Oregon zip code so that we route your call to the local resource who can help you.
By the way,
All right, we won't go to that zip code. We'll try the Columbia here first.
all right. Good, because I've already got about 200 phone calls into Adult Protective Services. That exact number we just called.
You've reached Jess Linneman of the Office of Training, Investigations, and Safety and the Oregon Safe Line. If this is an emergency, hang up and dial 911. If you've reached this recording,
he's the
I am
Adult
either away
Protective
from my desk
Services
or on
guy here in
another line.
Tillamook, too.
Please leave a message, and I will call you back as soon as possible. Thank you.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hello.
If you're satisfied with the message, press 1. To listen to your message, press 2. To erase and re-record.
All right, we're going to try that again. Sorry about that.
I've been getting this runaround for 7 years, sir. You're never going to get anything other than that. If they do call back, they call back from a restricted number, and I have stalkers who call me from restricted numbers daily.
Let's see, we're going to try another number here, okay?
Yes, sir.
Let's try it. Okay, calling. Here we go. Hello, Lisa. This is Dominic with 211. I'm a mandatory reporter. I have an individual on the line. Did not get a name or anything like that. They are anonymous callers, but would like to report to Adult Protective Services about a situation I guess they're going through. They're kind of nervous, especially. Are you still there, by the way?
I am. I certainly am.
Okay, they are still here. Nervous about the situation. Seems to be maybe tied in tied in with Tillamook County or Tillamook area, and perhaps even involving some of the sheriff that just recently got arrested and some other situations. So the guy is really nervous and paranoid, rightfully so, I would believe so. And anyhow, wants to report, I think, abuse on their behalf.
Okay, absolutely. A sheriff got arrested?
It was a police
Yeah,
chief. Police chief.
Police chief.
Who is that?
Ray Rao.
Raymond Rao.
How do you spell that last name?
R-A-U.
R-A.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. So yeah, this was a police chief. It seems like that just recently got arrested September 1st. It looks like. I looked it up myself.
Now it's over in Tillamook County.
Yeah.
What was he arrested for?
Looks like the state is alleging that the individual took drugs and money from evidence and probably used them for their personal gain.
I saw that. I did see that. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Anonymous Caller, please feel free to tell me anything you want. I may need to ask you some questions, but I won't ask you for your identity.
Me? Or the gentleman who called with me?
No, you.
All right. I have a YouTube channel that I had to make because of abuse over a woman who was killed in Colorado. And because of it, and because I was forced into homelessness over it, I get harassed pretty much everywhere I go by the public, by the police, and I'm sent in an endless circle of mental health places that I'm told that they're supposed to help when you're an at-risk adult. I do get disability money, but I have to have someone literally help me with the paperwork just on that. I don't have anyone like that.
Gotcha.
Now, one of the things with me having to record all the time is that people don't think about that before committing crimes.
Of course not.
So I recorded the police and all of these agencies here giving me the runaround for the last 11 months over a stalker who stalked me here from Hood River. His name is James Murphy. I have court with him at 3:30 today. The police and the sheriff's department are both fine with helping anybody out at this point who is angry with me because I've been speaking up very loudly. Meanwhile, I'm a disabled adult, and I should have never had to make a YouTube channel to speak out ever. Anyway, there's a lot of witnesses on my channel and also a lot of witnesses in literally hundreds and hundreds of private recordings that I have on a computer that I don't have access to. It's in my car right now, but I have back issues and physical issues and fatigue issues, and for the life of me, until I called these people at 211, none of these mandated reporters would do anything. They just fought tooth and nail. Now, there's several other witnesses that I have recorded. Some of them, I've kept their names as anonymous as I could. A lot of them, when you're a male, people tend to give you the you just need to take care of yourself, or you just need to ignore it, or you just need to move on. And it costs money to move on, and I can't take care of myself. I was in assisted living before Natalie Bollinger got herself shot in the head. So, I mean, it's not like I'm somebody who's doing backflips and, taking opiates. I stay off of drugs. The problem is I've got a lot of recordings, even in the last few days, of officers here, like Officer Loftman of the police department here. He's been telling people that I've been messing with little kids and crap like that. And here's the thing, is that I've been getting messed with by racists since I got here. I mean, it's just something that at first because I'm stuck in parking lots, I'm in a scared situation. I do have addicts frequently come up to me and ask me for drugs or try to give me drugs. I only have cigarettes, so I mean, I'll give them a cigarette, but There's also the fact that with a lot of these opiate addicts, if they don't get what they want, they'll go vandalize stuff. So I've got recordings of that too. I mean, it's
Okay.
basically just been me recording my life for the last 7 years, being bullied from one place to another over things I didn't do. And I've been trying.
Gotcha. But you said you are going to court today at 1?
At 3:30.
Oh, at 3:30. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So there's really, I mean, if you're alleging that the abuse has been against you, but you're unwilling to tell me who you are,
Sean David
there
Schwartz.
is very little that I can do.
Sean David Schwartz. I'm not afraid at all to tell people my name. It's Sean David Schwartz.
Oh. And can you do all of that for me, except for the David part? I got that.
Yes, ma'am. Sean is SHAWN. Schwartz is SCHWARTZ.
And your date of birth, Sean?
October 18th, 1980.
Okay.
And I have my paperwork from my mental health specialist that shows that I'm not schizophrenic. I am not delusional. I don't have hallucinations. One of the issues is, before Natalie was killed, I went to every mandated reporter I was supposed to in Nebraska and in Chesapeake, Virginia, as well as in Boulder, Colorado, while Natalie Bollinger's friends made my life a living Hades. Now, when she ended up getting killed, it ended up all over the news, and then it ended up so that it was all over, it's all over the internet. It's people basically pretend like I'm some sort of a horrible monster. I'm autistic, but I'm high-functioning autistic. That doesn't mean that I don't need help. When I'm in a state of crisis, I literally can't take care of myself. And I've been sent back and forth to the services here, same as I was there.
So, what city do you live in?
I'm in Tillamook, but the Adult Protective Services here is either Tillamook Family Counseling Center or it's Northwest Senior and Disability Services, depending on if you're physically or mentally disabled. I happen to be both. I get taken advantage of because I have both. And they basically been bouncing me back and forth for the last 11 months. There was a place called Tides of Change that was going to try to help me get this all started, but the problem is I'm homeless and I'm overwhelmed and I have to look over my shoulder every moment. I can't function in this environment, and at no point in time did the police allow me to have a room. I have to try to go up to the top floor of the library with all of my gear, all of my electronic stuff. I have a lot of evidence that's electronic, but I also don't have internet access enough to turn anything in before more crimes are committed. And I have no friends or family members who help me with that, which is why I'm sent to mandated reporters.
Got it. Yeah, I understand completely. But legally, I can't do anything out of my county. So all I can do is take your report and reach out to Northwest Seniors and Disabilities over in the Tillamook area and let them know that you've called asking for help. Because, well, I'm not going to say it this way, but you've called asking for help because you don't feel like you're getting it.
I'm calling for help because I'm being harmed every day. People threaten my life. They threaten to kill me. They threaten to kill my friends and family. They scream a lot of real nasty racist words at me and homophobic words and threaten harm against me often. You know, I can't function. That's the point. That's the problem with...
Oh, no, I get that completely, Sean. I get that completely, but I have no power. I can't arrest anybody. I can't enforce restraining orders. I can't really do anything but take a report. So the fact that you actually are going to court today is where this needs to end up for you to get some resolution, because without that, I don't believe you're going to... Now, are you being charged, or are you the person charging someone else?
It's a guy that I've been trying to turn in for stalking me since I was in Hood River. and I have all the
Okay.
evidence that I need. The problem is I can't process it. I'm stuck in my vehicle. My disabilities are being taken advantage of. I get bullied by the police. They antagonize me, and they're also slandering my name to other people in town, resulting in an unsafe situation for me. And I would like to not end up in Columbia County going through this again.
Oh, I don't blame you one bit. I just wish that I had something to offer you, but I don't.
Yeah, that's one of the problems with having these mandated reporters not do their jobs to begin with, is that I can't take care of myself, and that's being taken advantage of. I can't take care of myself, ma'am.
I understand that,
I guess.
but I can't come take care of you.
Yeah.
So you would need to apply for services through Northwest
Ma'am,
SDS.
ma'am, you're telling me stuff that I've already done. All right, I literally can't take care of myself. I can barely write a report if I have to. I write my notes down on any scrap of paper that I have in my car that I can write down, and I lose it all the time. I have to be afraid everywhere that I go, ma'am.
Let me ask this, if I may. I guess first of all, Sean, am I still needed to be on this call with you?
Yes.
If so,
I can't.
okay.
I can't stop the abuse. I've already applied for all the services. Once I got services for housing, they didn't do anything at all for me in Nebraska about any of that abuse. I have so much that I need to turn in. I can't just keep being bullied into moving, and that's what's happening here. I mean, where am I supposed to go? I have nowhere to go. I have nowhere to go. I was in assisted living in Nebraska when all of this stuff started, and I was told that I needed to go to the Front Range of Colorado to get help with this stalking stuff. And I was in the Front Range of Colorado going through the same stuff where they send us through mental health instead of doing their jobs to stop the abuse. I was in housing twice. Both times I couldn't get the cops to do anything about any of the people threatening to kill me or my friends and family, or throwing beer bottles out the window at me, and a lot of these predators are in real life. I get bullied by police.
So, all right. So let me ask this, because it feels like the Columbia County. So, and I see what you're saying is it's out of the jurisdiction. So, let me ask this, because I can't be on the phone much longer. I've done my half on reporting it, but on helping you report the situation. Sean, I do apologize. You're going through this, and it seems like there's nowhere to turn. I guess my question would be, from a professional perspective, is for an individual who is homeless, who doesn't really reside in a specific county, what would be a good kind of direction to take at this moment, is my question, I guess.
Well, and I can only answer to where I would refer to him if he was in my county.
Okay.
I mean, we have community action team here. I think that's a function of Northwest SDS over there that can provide, upon occasion, not always, emergency housing vouchers or access to shelters and stuff. We don't have any homeless shelters in Columbia County, but I can't speak to what else is out there in the state, because that's not my...
What I need is the crimes against me actually investigated, and all of the places here have just sent me around in circles claiming it's nobody's job. I'm a disabled adult. I literally cannot do these things for myself. That's what I explain to literally everybody that I call. I have no friends or family to help me with this. I have to pay drug addicts to help me. I don't do drugs. I have to deal with drug addicts coming up to my car and throwing tantrums if they don't get what they want right when they want it. I have to deal with people calling me a pedophile and a rapist, and I've never been charged with either of those. I have literally never been charged with a crime against a child. Ever. I've never been charged
Sean,
with a sex crime.
It sounds awful, but unfortunately I have to refer you to the police, and you're saying that has not worked for you.
Ma'am, I'm saying that the police are committing crimes against me.
The police.
I'm saying that the police committing crimes against me when I first got here, as well as continuing till today, it has me very afraid.
Right, but we don't investigate the police.
And that's
Yeah, that would probably be an official complaint you make through the state. Would be my
and
guess.
I've attempted to do that, but end up getting the runaround, and I get sent back to the same places that all say it's not their job. I have to go to someone else. Every single call
I'm
ends this
sorry.
way. I'm a disabled person. There are supposed to be laws in place that are supposed to protect me, and they are not being acknowledged. I was forced into homelessness because people wanted to slander my name, and I was never allowed to show evidence, face my accusers, nothing. The term mentally ill is used to pretend that I'm schizophrenic, and I've seen my own therapist, and I have my paperwork that shows that I'm not. And that's what all of this situation where I've been railroaded has been based on, pretending that I'm schizophrenic and I'm making everything up. When police do stuff like this, it's horrible. And who do I turn them into?
I can only imagine. I am so sorry. I like Dominic mentioned, I'm not the appropriate person to file a complaint against the police department or the sheriff's department.
There's also the fact that I literally can't take care of myself, let alone fill anything out without a safe environment where I'm not afraid to the point that I can't function. Like, all I can function to do most of the time is talk.
Well, and again, all I can speak to is what happens in my county, but usually when someone is in your situation, they have someone from the mental health authority that helps them with that paperwork.
Well,
in our county, we have a lady that is the Social Security Administration liaison that helps people file for disability when they're unable to navigate it. So
I have disability. I am disabled. That's the problem, is that they're not acknowledging my disabilities at all. None of these places.
Oh, I thought you said you couldn't file the paperwork to get the money.
No, I that's the thing. It is that I have disability. I've had disability almost this entire time, except when I've tried to turn in police officers. They press false charges against me and had me arrested for longer than 30 days. Then I have to find somebody to help me to reapply, and I have to find an address to reapply, and I literally can't do that. A crooked cop doing that just once sets me back 6 months to a year on starting to try all over again, and I have meltdowns from nightmares over the efforts. I mean, getting sent to jail over things that I didn't do, or having to tell an officer that I'm trying to turn in, like Loffman here. I've been trying to turn him in, and repeatedly he's been there to harass me or threaten me or intimidate me when I tried to turn him into his superiors, when I tried to turn him in at the hospital. I go to all the mandated reporters that I'm told to talk to, and until the gentleman here at 211, nobody was even willing to try doing the appropriate thing. Now, because I've been here for 11 months, by the time he was willing to do the appropriate thing, it was too late to go to the people that I'm supposed to go to. Meanwhile, they're preying on the fact that I can't take care of myself. I can't fill out the paperwork to turn in my predators by myself without a safe environment. Being autistic isn't just some imaginary disability. The major disability that I have to deal with is having PTSD. And that does prevent me from being able to function.
Here's another thing for you, Sean. In my county, we have something called a victim's advocate through the district attorney's office.
I've tried that. They won't do any. They won't do any. I've already been there repeatedly. They told me that they can't do anything until the police department signs off on it.
I'm out of solutions.
Ma'am, I'm trying to tell you what I've already been through. What I'm explaining to you is that this county is crooked, and they're just sending me in circles. I've literally been to every service here in this county.
Your feelings.
It's not feelings, it's the truth. I've got evidence of it, and I've been recording it.
Yeah, Sean, I think, yeah, so our attempt at calling, just Sean, so you know, our attempt at calling Columbia County was to see if somebody outside was able to help. Unfortunately, they are not, because it's outside of their jurisdiction, which makes sense.
It doesn't make sense because it has to go over their heads. There has to be someone over their heads we can go to.
Oh, hold on, Sean. I don't mean to talk over you, and I do apologize. Here's the thing, though, is county to county, they can't investigate county to county. Like, Multnomah County can't investigate this, they can't investigate that. So that's what
Sir,
I'm
I've already been
so,
through all of this. We've already established that. That's one of the things that I have recorded is that I keep getting told different things by
right.
the same department. That's why I'm trying to turn it in. Instead of me getting talked in circles like this, I need people to listen to the crimes that have been committed against me and why it is that I literally cannot defend myself against it.
So,
I cannot defend
well, here's the
myself
thing.
against it. I
Yeah,
can't move.
Sean, the thing is we have heard you. We are listening, okay? The only solution I think that we have, because I'm powerless too, just like this individual, they're powerless. I am powerless too. We are listening. We are concerned for you. Unfortunately, like we don't have all the power and and everything else in our hands to tackle
I don't
that.
need a goddamn speech. God damn it. Okay, I don't need a speech. I don't need a speech. I've heard so many speeches. That is not okay. All right, I am being abused every single day, and I can't just listen to speech after speech. All right, the next person to call is the state trooper's office, and this lady here should have known that, but of course she's not giving that information, is she? All right, once I call them, they tell me that it's not their job to police the police. And then they send me back to the police department here. The police department here tells me they can't investigate themselves. Or they send me on a magic carpet ride of all these imaginary places that are supposed to help for them all to tell me that it's not their job before even hearing what I'm saying. I'm a disabled adult.
Sean.
Do what?
I just said that I was truly sorry that I wasn't able to do anything to help.
There is an officer complaint line. Let me see really quick. Let me type it in my thing here. Just bear with me, Sean. I'm doing everything that is in my power. I don't have a lot of power, but I'm doing everything that is in my power to see who can help. Okay? There is a law enforcement complaint line, and it's through the Oregon Judicial Branch, and I can give you that information or see what it says here for us to do, okay?
I've got that information, but I need someone to do it with me. It's through the Department of Justice, correct?
Through the Oregon Judicial Branch, it's a criminal justice complaint, provides a way for citizens to file complaints against police departments or sheriff's offices. All it says here is to visit the website, and my guess is from there, there's a complaint form that you would fill out.
And I'm not able to do that because I don't have access.
Okay. I am willing to open this up and see what it looks like, okay?
Yes, sir.
So let's let the individual from Columbia County go, and then this is the most that I can do is try to navigate this webpage for you. I don't know what I can do outside of that, though, and it does. Sorry you feel trapped. I mean, yeah. I think
it sounds horrible.
Yeah,
it is horrible. Like I can't sleep.
All
I have
right,
to
well,
worry
Dominic.
about. Go ahead. You can go, Miss Columbia. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care.
Thank you. All right. I don't want to hold her up because it's I do see what she's saying. You know, she's an intake specialist, and so yeah, I understand you're frustrated. We can only do with what we can with the powers that be or what they have. You know,
Sir, I had housing, okay? I had my housing and my disability, and I had a caseworker and everything. And all of that was taken away from me because I jumped through all the hoops that I'm told to, the same hoops I'm jumping through now. It's expensive, and I can't afford to go to a whole bunch of therapy appointments where they're not doing their jobs as mandated reporters. And I tell them that I need them to do their jobs as mandated reporters. But they make money by having us come back every 30 days. So instead of the crime getting turned in right away like it's supposed to, I end up getting blown off by the police. And then sent to mental health over and over again.
There's a phone number here associated to criminal justice complaints. Do you want to write this phone number down to try?
Yes, sir. I lost my pen in here again. Like I said, I literally can't take care of myself. I found my pen.
Okay. This phone number is 503.
One moment. Find something to. Sir, this is the thing: is that literally everyone becomes a referral line. That's the problem with
Yeah,
all the mandated reporters that I went to in this town, is that they all referred me to someone else for the last 11 months. Nobody stops to do anything about my disabilities or how they're being exploited because they're too busy exploiting it.
right. Right. Yeah, this sucks for me because I am powerless as well. And you don't want to make a report.
I do want to make a report. But the thing is that I've attempted to make reports to Tillamook. It doesn't go anywhere. They don't even try. When you have to go to your rapist to turn in crimes that are committed against you, they're not going to do it. And this is worse than rape.
Right. Now here's the number for the state line. It's going to be 5, and being that looks like they're already under investigation, the law enforcement office there, perhaps by the state. Maybe this is the proper way to take. I don't know for sure, but let me provide you this number. It's 503.
Yes, sir.
37.
What, 37?
Yeah, 378 2100.
Sir, I don't have a case manager or a guardian, which is why I'm having to make the calls alone.
Yeah. And do you have aging and disabilities number?
I do. That's the thing, is that they're the people. Some of the people I have to turn in, they just wanted to send me around in circles and say it's not their job. I mean, I told them about the crimes that were committed against me. All they wanted me to do is fill out housing paperwork. Every place here, all they wanted to do is push housing instead of doing their jobs as mandated reporters right away, which by law they're supposed to do. Am I supposed to go to Northwest Senior and Disability Services and have them investigate themselves for not doing their jobs as mandated reporters when I first got here, resulting in 11 months of abuse?
Right. So try to call that number and see if you can turn that county. I mean, probably the more calls they get about abuse, the further.
No, sir. They threaten to have you arrested if you call too much.
Right. Well, I would say somehow this one officer is arrested and under investigation right now. So somehow that has occurred. I don't know how or who or what, but it has occurred. But I would say reach out to that and see if that's helpful at all.
Sir, they're all going to force me to make a bunch of calls in public, which is unsafe for me to do, or they're going to make me do this stuff over the internet, which I'm incapable of doing without a safe place to do it. I still need peace and quiet either way. I need the resources that were taken away from me back.
Right. No, I agree. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to give you that number and give them a call, see if it's helpful, okay?
I've already called them and they weren't helpful. They send me on a magic carpet ride around in circles just like everyone else. But I wrote them down and I will call them.
Sean, I do apologize. I'm doing the best that I can here to help you. In reality, I am a mandatory reporter, but my job description is a resource specialist.
Everyone's a resource specialist. That's the issue that we've got, is that everybody sends you around in circles. Nobody actually does anything to investigate. Nobody. They're not going to investigate themselves, and that's that I'm getting sent to places. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been in your shoes before. I was an apprentice at one point and was done very wrong. Racial discrimination, sexual harassment, the same thing. I reported to bully, and I feel for you. I really do.
I have it recorded. I have over 30 times been called the N-word in the last week that's recorded. There's also a lot of other. This is a KKK town. So I mean, when you're saying that you get it and you understand, I want to tell you that I have it recorded. I have no way to turn it in when I'm fed around in circles, and then they want me to send it to them with all of my resources sapped, with all of these people that are hostile towards me in this town, just like they were in Hood River. I have recording
Now,
after recording on my YouTube channel of it.
right? And have you considered going to a county, like say Multnomah County, where they're more inclined to listen?
Multnomah County won't do it because it's the wrong county. They send me back to here. I was also discriminated against in Multnomah County and Clatsop County because I was sent to both of those places.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, have you considered removing yourself from that environment?
I have repeatedly. That's the problem, is that all of my money has been spent for the last 7 years moving from one place to another. The thing with Natalie Bollinger, it's a very big thing and it's popular worldwide. If you want to type in Natalie Bollinger's name in just about any foreign language you can think of, you can find it. People harass me on the internet and in real life. It's a popular story. It's especially popular among women because it's true crime, and that's a very popular thing for a lot of women right now that they watch, especially a lot of single mothers who get themselves all hopped up on friggin' box wine and then get paranoid of every man that exists. I don't want to be in public. I don't want to exist in public. I was forced into public and out of my housing by police.
Well, unfortunately, I've exhausted everything that I can do. If I was in charge of, and I was in the DA or the public investigators, something another, if I was in charge of that, I would listen to you, and I would try to take it as serious as possible, and try to navigate an investigation or whatever that occurs, right? But I'm not in that position. I am in a position just to only be able to provide you resources that I hope are helpful. And you have made reports to Tillamook, and it's unfortunately gone nowhere. And I do, like, that's out of my hands, and I apologize, and it's sorry to hear that. But I've exhausted everything that I can do for you today. Is there anything else that, and if anything, I tried to listen,
You did. Sir, you did something that all these other mandated reporters in Tillamook didn't do. You took it serious right away. You made the call right away. That's the problem with all these places, is that it's against the law for them not to, and none of them did. For each and every one of them, it's only a $600 fine. But who do I turn it into? Who's going to take it seriously? That every single mandated reporter I went to didn't do their job, except for you guys at 211. I'm an at-risk and disabled adult. I do require assistance. I do have mobility issues, and there's supposed to be someone to help me with that. But when you're trying to turn in the fact that cops committed the crimes, and these guys are friends with the cops, it's a small county, I mean, you can imagine how that works out. Now, if I go to a big city, I'm going to get taken advantage of worse.
Right. I do understand your frustration, and yeah, I the most that I can do is, like I said, provide you this information. We tried to every avenue we could that you're comfortable doing as well. And you've already made those reports to Tillamook.
I've tried to make the reports to Tillamook. Tried. That's the operative word there. Tried. At none of these places, not one of them, have they ever accommodated my disabilities. They take advantage of it. What I needed when a crime was committed is to be able to sit down in peace and quiet where I don't have to be afraid of someone harming me. I need to be able to sit down in peace and quiet just like a person in a house would. Now, when I had my own place, I could have done that if I'd have had help, but I still needed someone to advocate with me, and nobody did that. I got advocate after advocate after advocate who say the same things that lady from the next county over said. They can't do nothing. They can't do nothing. They can't do nothing. Well, I can't do these things myself. My PTSD prevents me from being able to function after long-term abuse like this. You called
Yeah,
right away.
yeah,
And that would have possibly worked if somebody had done that with me when I first got here. But after them spending months and months trying to cover up the fact that they didn't do their jobs as mandated reporters, now it's more than a $600 fine because now they're liable for a lot more abuse. And I'm talking about criminal abuse. This isn't just some civil thing as they keep trying to pawn me off. It is
right.
somebody's job to investigate, and my rapists investigating their own rape is inappropriate. Now, I'm not
I
literally claiming that the police raped me. I was sexually assaulted, but not by the police here. I was sexually assaulted by others. But I wasn't able to turn that in either. I haven't been able to turn in a crime in my adult life because I have problems with, well, like I said, people didn't teach me how to do this stuff. I had to pay them a lot of money. They didn't. They just took my money. Everyone takes advantage of me that way. Or they don't call it in
right.
right away and it's not taken seriously. Or they don't understand because they're in houses that I don't have the access that they do. Or they're not disabled the way that I am, so they want to tell me about their disabilities. And they never try to understand that I have problems even writing or holding a pen.
Do you want to call Tillamook to report this, or how do you want to go moving forward? Because I do have to get onto other calls, unfortunately. Uh, so like, and I yeah, I want to make sure that we hang up and that you are somewhat satisfied or in a comfortable place. The
I'm
best
not
that I
safe,
can.
sir. I am in an unsafe situation. I have to worry about people assaulting me. I also have to worry about people possibly potentially killing me. And I've had to worry about people doing that to my sister as well. I've saved the evidence. I don't have a place to process it because the place that I had to process it was taken away because the police wanted to assume that I was the bad guy. They already had assumed that I was in the wrong. They wouldn't do anything for me starting before Natalie was killed. And that kind of mentality of I need to get sent around all these mental health places has resulted in a lot of abuse.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. And
resulted in my
I do.
creditors having help doing the paperwork, being able to safely go in and turn in and not have to worry about retaliation. Whereas for me as a homeless man, I'm going to get talked over. And I do have a lot of, like I had to buy a P.O. box in this town. I had to change my ID over to a Tillamook address. I had to change that stuff over so that I could try to make a police report. None of this is stuff that is necessary. This is all the stuff that I'm thrown through to try to go through and make a police report. They won't allow me a room to sit down in and just write it down. I try to make an oral report and I'm talked over, just like that lady from the other county did. And that's not appropriate of her either. She already knew that what she's supposed to tell you is to go to the state police. But she
Yeah,
didn't volunteer that information.
yeah. Perhaps she should have. I don't know her job or her role, but that's why I provided you that information so that you can hopefully call that line and make a complaint through the state outside of that county.
I've
Okay?
already tried, but they're not acknowledging my disabilities. They're taking advantage of them. That's the problem, is that people hear that I can speak English and that I can use intelligent words, and all of a sudden my disabilities don't exist to them, and I magically am able to do things myself that my disabilities prevent me from doing. Making the calls alone doesn't get me very far.
Well, let me ask you this, Sean. What can, because I do have to take other calls. What, before we hang up today, what can I maybe assist with further that may be of help as far as resources go? Or do you want a talk line perhaps to talk to somebody to get this off of your chest? What else can maybe we provide you with?
I can't have it just be a get it off my chest thing. That's a waste of time. I don't have a friend or family member to help me to turn this in, and a friend or family member could, but I don't have one, and that's how all these services are taking advantage of me. All right, I'm supposed to go to another county, and yes, another county can investigate it. The county who is investigating the shooting that happened here 2 days ago is another county. Clatsop County is investigating it.
Okay.
Anyway, the investigation against the police chief here, that's the state police. But without
Mm-hmm.
a friend or family member there, they will take advantage of me as an at-risk adult by sending me around in circles. Northwest Senior and Disabilities Services sending me back to them after they sent me around in circles for the last 11 months. That's not okay either. None of these places, not a single one of them, allowed me a room that I could sit down in and write a police report. These police wouldn't allow me to write a police report. They kept on telling me that I tell it to them and they'll write it down. I have been bullied by law enforcement here since I got here.
Yeah. I can only reiterate that, and I truly do feel for the situation you're in. That all we are at 211 though we're just a resource and information database. We're not investigators here. We do provide resources to help alleviate some of the troubles, or we hope that it does, some of the troubles that people go through. I truly feel for you. I do. But if there's nothing else that I can do for you right now, I have to take some other calls. And I hope that even being on the phone with me has alleviated some of this stress. I don't know if it has or not, but I hope it has. And as much as I'd like to come and try to advocate for you, I can't. It's just not in my position to do so. I'm not professionally trained on that level or anything else. So unfortunately, I do have to let this call go. But we are 24/7, Sean. You are welcome to call us anytime and try to pick all of our brains apart to see if we can help figure this one out, okay?
I need Adult Protective Services to step in.
Yeah. I just tried. I mean, I honestly tried. And when I called the state line, it sent me to your local Tillamook County. That's why I tried to call outside. I tried.
Yep, and they tell me that it's not their job, that I need to go to Tillamook Family Counseling Center. Tillamook Family Counseling Center says it's not their job, and they send me to Northwest Senior and Disability Services. They just don't want to do their job.
Well, I was going to say, too, maybe it's a matter, and I hear your frustration, maybe it's a matter of the state perhaps launching their own. Maybe they don't have that, though, but I could see why they would need a state, investigative type thing versus county by county. I can see where this is complicated, but that is out of my control,
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yes, sir. I'll make sure that I call back later. I see you. It never gets ever to the point where I have the resources that I need or anyone to look at the evidence or to advocate for me. It's always just around in circles. When people commit crimes as mandated reporters, who do I even go to?
Yeah, usually it is through the county, and unfortunately you're at odds with the county, and this is the situation you're in, and it's heartbreaking to hear. And to me, it makes me think, well, the state needs their own state investigative line or something, that they don't have. Because when I called the investigative line, it just led me right back to your county, which gets us nowhere,
Well, at least you admitted it. At least you're not playing stupid on the situation, which everyone else is. At least you made the calls like you were supposed to. You did the right thing, sir. You and the lady that I spoke with yesterday, who didn't get a hold of me this morning. At least you tried. Like last night, the lady, or this morning, the lady that I spoke with, it was late, and I understood that everything was closed. And I understand that you have other people that you have to get a hold of, and I'll make sure that I call back again because, like you said, you're a 24-hour line. But my abilities and my disabilities as a disabled person are not being acknowledged, and that's how I'm being railroaded.
Yeah, and I will say, and there is a Disability Rights of Oregon agency? Have you gone to them too?
I've called them repeatedly. They send me back to Tillamook. They all send me right back
Yeah,
here. I'm also told that I have to
yeah,
go to other counties because other counties can investigate. But I go to those other counties and I end up getting bullied there. And I have the recordings of it. I mean, I could literally, if I could find, I have a phone here that I can attach to the Wi-Fi here. I can literally play for you racial slurs committed against me. I can play for you officers laughing and antagonizing right after they killed that guy. Like, there's a lot of really messed up situations, sir.
yeah. And I get your frustration. I do.
It's
I will
scary to be
say,
bullied by
definitely call
cops.
back.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, it sucks. Sucks being bullied by anyone. I will say, we are, like I said, we're 24/7. Call us. You know, my brain is working on this now. Maybe something between now and your call, maybe something will click. I don't know, and maybe we could try another round. I'm not 100% sure right now. I've exhausted everything that I know that I can help you with.
It kind of
And
slows the brain after spending this much time, don't it? It gets
oh
numbing.
yeah, yeah,
I've been at this for 7 years, so you're good. You did what you were supposed to. All right. The lady that we talked to didn't quite understand, and that's fine. I'm used to that. That's one of the issues of having to communicate my issues over the phone, while I have communication issues and a short amount of time because I know everyone's going to shorten it. Thank you very
right,
much, and tell your boss that I said thank you. And it's not your fault that it was. They had already screwed
yeah,
up real bad by the time I called you, and I'm sorry for that.
yeah. I 100% hear you, and yeah, the only thing I can offer is more encouragement to continue to stay strong. You know, so
Yes, sir. Be safe. Thank you.
yep. Thank you for calling us.
Bye. When I go in person, they always want to focus on the housing, trying to get me to move here. You know what? I'm an at-risk and disabled adult, and being shoved into housing as a solution. It's not a solution. It doesn't stop the abuse. It doesn't stop the fact that if I get housing in this county, I've already been targeted by the people in this county. Yes, there's nice people. And I hope nobody hurts me in front of some of those nice people here because I believe they may hurt somebody. And I don't want anybody getting hurt over me. Somebody's typing stuff at me. I'm sorry, whoever it is. Chaos kid type. What boy? What you doing? Doing, bro? You good? What on earth? You good, homie? No, I'm not. I'm obviously. I'm down to 5% battery on my phone too. What on earth? You good, homie? What is going on, bro? That name is sick. God, I hate that you're going through this. Nobody should have to do this. Somebody needs to make the calls with me and take it seriously, and explain that I've been to all the mandated reporters. I've recorded them all. They've all gone out of their way to ignore my disabilities and not to allow me a private room to sit in. Not even so much as that. This is worse than rape. They have rooms for children who are abused and for women who are raped. They're called interview rooms. They also use them for murder suspects. They have them. Chaos Kid 110 type sir, go to the newspaper that might help you. They won't unless someone goes with me, or you guys bombard the hell out of them with, hey, guys, yeah, this dude's fucking up, but he's doing it because he's got to. People are threatening to kill people, and it's not just threats. So if somebody would make the calls with me, it would make a difference. With this guy here, he did the right thing. He did the perfect thing. He did what he was supposed to. He did what he was supposed to. The lady we talked to in the next county didn't. The situation with the DA, I don't have a friend or family member to go in with me, so they're going to talk over me, and the victim's rights advocate's going to say she can't do anything as a victim's rights advocate because the police didn't give me a case number. Meanwhile, they did give me a case number, but then, of course, I get the excuses on that. Oh, well, that's a different case number. That's the police's case number. If you go to jail, you will get health and you will get fed. Fuck you, dude. Right? That's what a lot of people say. But the reality is, I want to spend the rest of my life somewhere where people know where I am. There's a lot of evidence on this YouTube channel of people threatening my sister and my niece. People threatening Nick and Sarah Bacon and their kids. Threatening Cara Rogers and her kid. Same thing with Aaron Cockerham. All these women who are angry. Recorded talking about how they were threatened, harassed, or intimidated, many of them by the police. You get to see what it's like when you're blackballed by a county. Well, that's what happens when your name is slandered the way it is. Every county wants you. And wants you to leave. And then the idea that the police aren't going to do anything about any of the crimes committed against me. They're just going to make it a more unsafe situation. They're never going to allow me an interview room. And if they do, there'll be some fucking chump, guaranteed, that'll come into the room within a couple of minutes and start fucking yakking at me and distracting me and not allowing me to get my work done. Plus, there's my physical disabilities, carrying everything in and out of there. You notice I'm able to use a lighter now, right? You know how long it took me to be able to do that? After Waylon Lolotide did his fucked up shit? Not long at all. It's one of the first things I practiced. I wanted a cigarette. Chaos Kid 110 typed, I have never respected anyone more. Oh, don't. The thing is that these different agencies are treating me with disrespect. You also notice that 988, what they did versus what these people did. I want you to compare the phone calls with the 211 guy here and with the 211 guy yesterday. I want you to compare those calls. That's what a friend or family member needs to do, but they need to continue to follow through. Once they realize that it's just a big giant circle jerk where all these people are touching each other's fannies and scrooging each other's wallets. All these mental health places that I'm sent to, they all get money and funding, but not if they do their job as a mandated reporter. If they do that, you know what happens? They have to cancel somebody else's appointment, and they don't want to do that. That person might be a drug addict, and that drug addict would get them a lot of extra money just because, well, they're in there for drug treatment, and we get drug treatment here, don't we? Well, what about the help for people who aren't on drugs? The fact that I have to record this on my YouTube channel and post it up on my YouTube channel that was posted up on my YouTube channel, or one of my predators who I'd posted up about previously many times. You see how I'm able to post this stuff on YouTube and Facebook, sort of. I want you to imagine trying to fill out police reports online over the telephone because the police officers that you talk to wouldn't give you a piece of paper to begin with. Wouldn't write anything down either. Wouldn't talk to any witnesses. The whole police department's crooked. It's not just Lothman. Yeah, we got the situation with Ashley where she talks about him bending her over the vehicle or him trying to entice her sexually. I've been threatened, harassed, and intimidated since I got here. I've been trying to turn in this James Murphy guy for over a year now. He won't leave me the fuck alone. Being allowed a safe place where I could just sit down and do that stuff. When I was in Hood River, I had to drive to the library to do that stuff. But then by the time I did all that running around to mental health, I get to the library. Like, why the hell? I go to mental health because they're supposed to help me as mandated reporters. What do? They want to push me into housing. Apparently, I have to move here. But then once I move here, all that does is get me trapped in an area with predators. It wastes up my money and eats up all of my money. Meanwhile, all of these counties, all of these mental health places are doing this to the homeless nationwide. The police, the news, all of them. You have to make the call with the victim, or the victim has to light something on fire, literally, or has to do something drastic, like threaten to kill the President of the United States. Or they gotta do something that people freak out about, like take pictures of RPGs and machine guns and post them up. And that's not to get people to look for popularity. That's to try to get one person to speak up with me. One person who's not going to take no for an answer, because if I don't take no for an answer, you get to hear from each of these places, just keep calling back, just keep trying. But what happens if I do? I'm threatened with being arrested because I can't take care of myself. These people have not accommodated my disabilities, and I've recorded it in all these places. Once they realize there's police involved, they all want to play stupid. But this guy at 211, what did he do? He did the right thing. He did what a friend or family member is supposed to do right away. But did you? No. None of you who offered to help. I have to beg you over and over again. By the way, one of the people who is predatory towards me in this town will tell you the difference between when cops do their jobs, even if only half-assed, and when they choose to look the other way to at-risk and disabled adults being abused. Tyler Crabtree gave me these. First time I met him and his friend Austin were exposing their backsides. Well, he exposed his backside to me. I went to the cops. Because of Jared Scudder helping me, the cops did actually show up and actually almost pretend to do something. At least they talked to Mr. Crabtree. And Mr. Crabtree and I speak